Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Masquerada, Songs and Shadows. In the last episode, we met and got to save Tiziana's mother, and hopefully they're on the mend after this traumatic experience, but we also have these ruins to check out, as well as skill points to spend. Now we have two... The thing about it is, now that we have two to spend, we can start working on a lot of our other abilities. Tempest. Whirlwind around the caster for 5 seconds that deals 5 base damage per second and slows enemies by 30. Swap, squirrels, and teleports. I think we're going to go ahead and go with Tempest for Cicero. That sounds reasonable. Calvin releases an energy pulse to cover 40% of his maximum focus to recover and taunts enemies within 5 meters for 5 seconds. Stomps the ground to conjure a flood that deals 40 base damage to enemies within 5 meters. I like that one. I think we'll go with Redoubt. Now Tiziana, Fire Wave that deals 30 base damage to enemies within 5 meters. Enemies hit suffer 5 burn damage per second for 5 seconds. Fan of 6 flaming bolts in a single direction, so that's more of a ranged attack. I think Creed might work. And for Amadea, while underground, she clears all threat and gained, and if she becomes blocked, Amadea will be interrupted and forced back up to the surface. Series of successive attacks as the caster charges forward in 2 seconds, dealing 35 base damage to all enemies in her path. Oh, empowers herself by gaining 10% attack and movement speed boost for 10 seconds. Sounds good to me. Now, in terms of our boy Vasco here, Force Field, Swirl Apparition, and Cadence. Actually, I think Void will work out for Vasco as well. Now, we also got some new lore here. I believe about the ruins that we are currently at. The Misted Isles. There you go. Now, before we actually head into the room... Ooh! New graving obtained. The Cascada. Which is that river here. And we'll check the other side just to be safe. Because, yeah, all kinds of goodies. Raw Masquerine for Tiziana. Well, that makes sense. This is kind of her story, just like we dealt with Calden. And I guess it's Cicero and Vasco's time to shine.
This is the one?
Yes.
And Bob Jr., of course.
It's barely hanging together.
On Will Sion Aitchen Sion Breog Sion.
It's not making any sense.
It seems flustered. I'm not sure if...
Hey! Damn it! I'm sure it's got reasons.
Well, we're going to have to...
Don't do this!
Tiziana?
Oh, Lord. That's not good.
Judge Master, please.
Move aside, Marshal.
What is going on?
Our inquisitive hound.
Tiziana?
I'm sorry.
You told him about the Assemblia. About why we were here.
Yes, she did. To find out where these artifacts that I've been hearing so much about are. So, Inspettori, care to share?
These artifacts are involved in things you don't understand. I need them.
What you need, Inspettori, is to tell me where they are.
Why are you doing this?
Too long the city has been ruled by incompetence. It needs a leader that can fight, that has the strength to do what is necessary for the good of the city, not a weakling who poisons it with his age and frailty.
And you're mad enough to believe that's you?
Ouch.
Imagine how much safer, how much more orderly the city would be if it adopted the bright chorus's compass.
The Luca don't even sing them anymore.
You can't have them.
What? You have spent too long in his company. He's darkened your eyes.
He has shown me the truth.
You are a marshal of the Luca Infinita. Your father would...
My father would have spat upon this guild.
Blasphemous!
Look at us, Faveo. We wear suits of gold, but where do our hearts lie? We're not supposed to fight to banish the weak. We are supposed to fight for them.
The weak will take us down with them.
We are supposed to lift them up. Be the eyes of the blind, the tongues of the mute, the ears of the deaf, the swords of the poor. What happened to that?
Enough! I will deal with you later. But you will...
I challenge you.
What?
Oh.
You believe you can rule this city under your martial thumb?
What are you saying?
Prove it. By your honor and pride, accept my challenge to a duel.
You think you can beat me?
If I do, you will respect the registry, and you will leave us alone. All of us, the Marshal included.
And if I win, you will tell me everything there is to know about the artifacts.
Cicero.
Fair.
Ooh, trial by combat.
When you're ready.
May the best man win.
Ready your...
So, probably need to get out of that, don't we? Okay.
Selves.
Aha! Oh, he actually... Oh, you're stun immune. Well, that's not nice. That's alright, I got some AoE fun times here. And did not mean to go that way. This is going to be very interesting, I'm thinking. Stay out of the flying V there, via fire. There we go. Seem to be doing pretty well, all things considered. Come on, buddy, you can do better than that. And a nice flourish.
Enough! You have won.
Huzzah!
And our deal?
I will honor my word. You fight well.
As do you.
We leave.
Hopefully he honors that. Trial by fire, indeed. 1 skill point awarded. I don't think that's going to be enough to get the next... Oh, yes it is. Never mind. Enemies in the whirlwind take 10 damage. When Tempest is cast, the whirlwind sucks in and taunts nearby enemies. Nah, we'll vaporize. That one's a lot better. Enemies receive a water tag. Increase flood damage by 10 and taunts nearby enemies for 5 seconds. I like that one. Increase fire wave radius by 60 and enemies receive a fire tag. Let's go with that. Now, how does this continually buff Amadea? I'm curious. Increase attack and movement speed boost by 8. Whenever an enemy takes damage from Amadea's auto attack, she recovers 5% of her maximum focus. Let's go with this. And pretty much going to do the same thing as Cicero's Void. And Faveo, it was a man of his word, hopefully. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Any other things randomly popping out at us? Nope. Alrighty.
Cicero, that was
I know.
stupid!
What?
You could have been killed!
Well, whatever it is, I have bad news.
About what your Fae wanted to show us.
About the Fae itself. It's run off.
Ah, by the light, Inspectore! I told you!
I know. We can deal with that later. First, we should get your mother back.
Well, maybe Bob Jr. will come back here.
Now that that's done, we need to find... Did I miss something?
Not once had I ever thought I'd stand up to the Judge Master like that. I never knew it could feel so good.
We'll see what you're saying once he comes around. Might not be a marshal for very much longer. I didn't think you'd take it that lightly.
I never thought I could either. But the things I'd once held so dear now seem like the trinkets of a fool. A broken compass for a blind heart.
Hold off on the poetry, Marshal. Next thing I know, you'll be turning yourself into a songstress.
Come on, let's see what the others are up to.
There you are.
Ven? What's the matter?
It's that creature thing you summoned. Came rushing back into the house not an hour ago.
Is anyone hurt?
No one but the walls. You should have a look.
Uh-oh. What did Bob Jr. do? New entry on Tiziana. Now let's go ahead and look at all the things here. 3% focus, reduce incoming damage for 3 seconds. Ooh. So that's very tanky. And a 35% proc chance, 10% damage. So what I think we'll do is we're going to go ahead and do that with Kalden, because he is our tank. And maybe Tiziana as well. And just keep the damage going for everyone else. I think that might work. Yeah. We'll call our shot. We also got some new masks here. Which one do I have? Yeah, I have the lightning horses. And the conjures a gale for 20 seconds that knocks enemies back and deals 10 damage. That could be some good for some breathing room. But let's see what we got. Conjures a maelstrom at the target location that sucks in enemies within 8 meters for 4 seconds. We got 2 people with abilities that already do that. What about the new mask? Slow moving fireball. Calls down a meteor storm at the target. Increasing the caster's damage by 50% for 10 seconds. That actually... I think I like that one a little bit more. If she takes fatal damage while the aura is active, she heals for 75% of her maximum health and unleashes a fire wave that deals... Rebirth seems pretty good too. Kilgan grunts, turns to stone. I think that's for I think that's everything. Summons 3 Rediro Fae for 10 seconds that taunts nearby enemies with their ranged attack. I don't know, those lightning strikes have been very useful. So I think we're good. Okay, Bob Jr., you rapscallion.
You're saying that she's right then?
Who's right?
Cicero, you need to hear this.
Someone's been quite the artist.
Oli. What? His name?
Are you joking?
Vasco, enough, please. We have more important things to talk about.
What's the matter?
What Oli saw at the Misted Isles triggered something. Memory.
He patched it up?
And more. There was text that had been inscribed onto it. His memory is returning.
Well, what does it say then? Anything about the artifacts?
It essentially reads a warning, written by the ruler of the Empire during the months before it fell.
Is this the same emperor who won the Civil War?
The one that championed that the artifact should be hidden, yes.
If this is to be believed, then he admitted that the war had been a mistake. And one by one, unprotected by our celestial boon, our cities fell to the other gods. The chaos of the land bred, and the war of the divine raged on.
Other gods?
In the scroll that Lucia gave you, we learned about a chaos that consumed the lands, that we suspect led to the cataclysm.
Well, there have been no reports from the neighboring regions about rampaging divines, and Umber is a godless city, so...
To those in times not yet past, if among the bones of my people, you find our legacies. If those legacies still give you strength, know that the schemer, Breyog, still lives. And if one god can survive, know that he might not be alone. Do not follow my mistake. Reclaim the schemer's gifts.
Their legacy? The Masquerades?
The artifacts were a part of their god. It isn't a stretch to believe that the Masquerades draw their power from him as well.
And if he's still alive somewhere...
He might not be the only one.
And the threat of a cataclysm is real.
Ages. Lucia was right.
There's more, Cicero. The images.
What we got?
The artifacts?
Yes, look.
A tree? The singing tree.
There you go.
It might explain how it's been alive for so long.
We have to go. 2 of you, stay here. Look after the Fae and... Oli, when he wakes up, get him to tell you where the last artifact is. The rest of you get ready.
Okay, never mind. He's Oli. He's not Bob Jr. Oli's a good name for him, too. What else do we... Oh, case notes updated. If what the Fae, Oli, has transcribed is real, then the cataclysm was a war of the gods. And Lucia is right. The Masquerades are testament to the survival of an ancient being, a god, and might truly be a sign that the destruction that had stopped at Medicate might well be upon us. Or it might not. There exists insufficient evidence to either prove or disprove these theories that are floating about, and certainly we should consider both sides equally. What we cannot allow, however, is the impediment of our progress because of this fear of the unknown. We must press on and focus on the present. Contemplating the future is going to halt the destruction of our city. In the mural, one of the artifacts seemed to be located in a tree of sorts. The singing tree seems a prime candidate for investigation, and is there that we must head. Which I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen.
How is he doing?
He'll be all right. Takes after you quite a bit, actually.
Why do you say that?
There's a determination in the way he moves, an authority in the way he speaks.
Is that a compliment?
He's rather malodorous, too. In case I haven't mentioned. How's that for a compliment?
Almost too kind from you.
Go on, Cicero. I'll be ready in a bit.
Well, we definitely need to take Amadea that next. Probably Amadea and Calden will be a good pick for the tree mission.
You don't seem quite as fazed by the revelations.
What? Gods?
Well, it's quite a discovery. That they might still live. Whatever that means.
I might perhaps be more affected if it were more affecting.
They're gods we're talking about.
And I know nothing about them. How am I supposed to let an idea influence me if it's still cloaked in questions? Whatever it is, we should leave soon. I don't quite enjoy sitting around like this.
There's the slightly salty Tiziana that we all know.
Calden?
You were right. You said yesterday that you were concerned about how much bigger this investigation might get.
Now you see what I mean?
Do you think it might be true? That gods might exist?
What do you mean?
If they do, then religions can't all be lies, can they?
You're thinking about your brother.
Maybe there is a promised land. Maybe the Elysians got it right with Asharimal. Maybe I'll get to see him again.
Perhaps, but until then...
Right. We have work to do.
It's an encouraging thought.
Amadea,
I'm sorry?
you look a little pale.
I was just... Gods, Cicero.
Gods?
Alive. What does that even mean? That they walk among us? All the gods in the foreign religions are all just concepts, and now...
You can't be sure the term means the same to the Dementicate as it does to us. For all you know, Breag could have simply been a talented mortal.
A talented mortal who gives part of himself to create artifacts that allow us to bend the elements of the physical realm itself? Perhaps your idea of talented mortal needs a little redefining.
Listen, Amadea, we don't know enough to make any judgments. What we do know, however, is that out there are powerful artifacts that we need to secure. That's all that matters right now. All right?
Of course, you're right. I shouldn't be straying.
Good. Now let's get ready.
Which is ironic considering the fact you probably have a stray right next to you. I'll head upstairs, see if there's any member of the family. Nope. I have this... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, didn't have anything to say. I have a bad feeling that something horrible is going to happen to this place. I'm hoping that's not the case, but... And we've got the carriage ready to go. You know what, since we actually haven't checked on it, since we're kind of at an impasse before we head back to the singing tree, let's head in here real quick. Get some training in. And see what this is all about. Oh! It is literally a training ground. I like it. The armor looks very Roman Legion-esque. Oop, skill reset. Some of the homebrew. Do you wish to train? Sure.
Spear point!
Hard worker. And stun immune, that's good to know. Durable barrels. So it's actually nothing fights back, it's just kind of a, hey. Get used to placing and grouping. It's simple and effective, I have to say. Alright. That should be good. We got plenty of other things to hit other than dummies. But I think that should go ahead and do it for today, guys. When we get back, we'll have Calden and Amadea go with Cicero to the Singing Tree. And I have a feeling that Lucia will be there as well, because she's usually one step ahead of us. But we'll see what happens. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.